Welcome back to the channel, guys. Rukia here, and today I'm going to be going over my favorite Pokemon in the entire game, Rayquaza and Mega Rayquaza. Okay, before I start this, I know there's going to be a lot of comments saying that Rayquaza's too OP, it's too busted, it's cancer, blah blah blah. The reason why I'm going over this thing is because Mega Rayquaza in general has always had a place in my heart, because it's the first Pokemon I've ever seen in my life. It's the one Pokemon I wanted to get when I got Pokemon Emerald. Because I loved dragons even when I was little. So seeing Rayquaza, this thing is what made me want to play Pokemon. And this is the reason why I love Pokemon so much today. So, with that little childhood story out of the way, let's get on to the strategies. So, my favorite way to run Rayquaza is Mixed Attacker. Very effective, obviously. So, this set right here, I'm going to use the Hasty Nature. Max out our speed to get as much outspeed as possible. 361 speed. That's awesome. Now, for the EV spreads, for the offensive stats, 128 on both. So we're going to be at 428 on both offensive stats. Interestingly enough, we're actually lower special attack and physical attack than most 150 base stat legendaries, because we're not fully investing in it, because we're splitting it between the two. But we're only 10 points under those Pokemon, so we're still doing massive damage. Since we're Mega Rayquaza in this one, we can still hold an item. My favorite's Life Orb. So our moveset's going to be Dragon Pulse, Dragon's Ascent, Earthquake, and Flamethrower. Now, just so you guys know, V-Create is not legal on a shiny Rayquaza, that's why it's not here. But you can use V-Create, but I don't think that's a good idea because you're using Dragon's Ascent, which already has a less hindering effect that V-Create does. Because V-Create also reduces speed, which is not something you want to sacrifice on Rayquaza. Now, the thing about Mega Rayquaza, before I get to continue on, is that a lot of people think Mega Rayquaza is this super overpowered, unstoppable Pokemon, but that's not true. I am someone who's used Mega Rayquaza and knows all of its weaknesses inside and out. There's actually a lot of counters to Mega Rayquaza. A lot of them. Mainly because the biggest one is that Salamence exists. Mega Salamence exists, which is a big bane on Mega Rayquaza. Because Mega Salamence can easily outspeed and KO Rayquaza in one hit. And Salamence is only Uber level. This is a Pokemon that's anything goes. So, if a regular Mega Evolution is capable of outspeeding and one-shotting Mega Rayquaza, this thing does not deserve the amount of hate that it gets. Because there's a lot more counters out there that can actually stop Mega Rayquaza. It's just, people fear it because it's so strong. It's so strong of a Pokemon, so people fear it. But it's actually easy to beat. You just have to have the right Pokemon to do it, which is not that hard to find. Okay, moving on to the next set. This set's going to be a little interesting, because we're sacrificing quite a bit of speed, but for more damage and slightly more bulk. The idea here is max out our speed with the Lonely Nature. We're going to be at 329 speed. We're outspeeding all base 100 speed Pokemon, which there are a lot of in this game. And we're going to have even more attack power. 335 on both stats, if we put 156 in our special attack. The rest of it's going to go into HP. That way we're a little bit bulkier, and we're patching up the amount of bulk that we lose in our defense, essentially. And again, for this one, we have the Life Orb, Dragon Pulse, Dragon's Ascent, Earthquake, and Flamethrower. Pretty much you run it the same way as the other Rayquaza set, but for more damage and less speed, and slightly more bulk. I prefer this set a little more because of those crucial outspeeds, but this one works too, especially because this is pretty much the Rayquaza that I have. But, yeah. That Rayquaza will always be good for Life Orb sets. That's something you need to keep in mind. Now, this one is awesome as well. For this set, we're going to be using Hasty Nature again, because in this set, we're going to be using Draco Meteor for the absolute nuking. Okay, so 252 in our physical attack, 252 in our speed, so we get the most outspeeds as possible, and after we use Draco Meteor, our special attack's going to be cut in half. So after we get that huge nuke with that 396 special attack, we can transition to physical and start bashing our enemies with these attacks, such as Dragon's Ascent, Earthquake, and Iron Head, to get rid of those pesky ice types and fairy types that threaten you. However, again, there are Pokemon those specific Pokemon are also Pokemon that counter Rayquaza very well. That's why it needs to have Iron Head in the set. Alright, next set, Focus Sash. Again, Rayquaza's not the bulkiest Pokemon either. 100 on all base stats, the base defenses. Actually, quite a few Pokemon have that same tankiness. And since you're most likely going to be fighting a lot of Uber Pokemon, this is not very bulky at all. So you need the Focus Sash for this set. We're going to be using the Jolly Nature and the Adamant, and max out our attack and speed. 361, 349. 459. So our moveset's going to be Dragon Claw, Dragon Dance, Dragon Ascent, and Earthquake. All three of the moves had dragon in it. But yeah, we're going to try and get those outspeeds, power up, and then blow up everything with this set. However, we're going to need the Focus Sash to be sure that we get the setup done. Because again, you're going to most likely be fighting other Uber legendaries. So Mega Rayquaza, as frail as it is in that tier, will most likely have to need that Focus Sash to survive that hit. Because a lot of dragon types are in Uber. Rayquaza's not going to survive those hits. Alright, now that we're done with Mega Rayquaza here, let's look at regular Rayquaza. Rayquaza, this way, this thing is a blessing with the Dragonium Z. Every single way you run Mega Rayquaza, regular Rayquaza, is best with the Dragonium Z. Because you get that huge nuking after that one Draco Meteor, okay? You change it to Devastating Drake. You just nuke one of their Pokemon. Then you still have an opportunity to use Draco Meteor again, do another nuke, and after that you transition physical, start Dragon Scenting, Earthquaking, Iron Heading, blah blah blah, and your opponent has no way of surviving anything that you do. Unless of course you're outsped, in which case you die. So yeah, this moveset for Rayquaza might just be as effective, if not even better, than Mega Rayquaza. Because you're getting the nukes immediately. Next set's going to be the exact same thing, but with a bit more offensive-oriented, physical offense. Hasty Nature, 252 in our speed, 252 in the attack. We're focusing more on our physical attack because after the Dragonium Z and Draco Meteor, we're going to transition physical, so this is where we want to get the most damage as possible to make up for the loss in our special attack that we use for the Draco Meteor's attacks. So yeah, Draco Meteor, Dragon's Ascent, Earthquake, and Iron Head. There's a lot of move options that Rayquaza has. I want to reiterate that. None of these moves that are in Rayquaza's arsenal that I have here, they're not set in stone. You can use whatever moves you want to use, essentially, because Rayquaza has a wide move pool. Pick whatever you want to use. But these are the sets that I think worked the best for Rayquaza. Now again, Rayquaza is pretty much the only Pokemon in Anything Goes tier. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments saying that this Pokemon's too powerful, too busted, too blah blah blah. But I've already gone over all the counters that Rayquaza has. It has a lot. It doesn't deserve the amount of hate, or even the tier that it's in. This Pokemon's not as overpowered as people think. It's just a strong Pokemon. And people fear strong Pokemon in this meta now, which is absolutely stupid. So yeah, those are my ideas for Mega Rayquaza and regular Rayquaza. I'm sorry if I rambled a lot during this video, but I just love Rayquaza so much. It holds a special place in my heart, and I wanted to keep it that way. That's why I was so passionate with this video. The next videos will obviously be Groudon and Kyogre. But, yeah. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.